slope-intercept form is written as y is equal to mx plus b. And if you notice, m is a lowercase and b is lowercase. M is my slope, which is the change in y divided by the change in x. B is my y-intercept. Well, y-intercept is 0 for x and some number for y, meaning that we're on the y-axis. If I have an x-intercept, then x is some number and y is 0. So it's on the x-axis. So these are important to know. But let's talk about the y-intercept form. Say that I have a slope of -3 and this line passes through an order pair of 5, 7. So I want to solve for it in the slope-intercept form so I can graph this line, because again, all we need is 2 order pairs and we can graph it. Well, if I know what the slope is, all I need is the y-intercept and I can graph it. So let's take this and solve for the slope-intercept form. I know what my y value is, I know what my m is and my x, but I don't know what my b is. So let's plug in what we know. We got 7 for y, -3 for m, and 5 for x. And let's solve. Bring down the 7, -3 times +5 is a -15 plus b. And let's add 15 to both sides because we're solving for b. Now I have 22 is equal to b. So I can write this. I know what my m is, it's -3, and my b is a +22. So this is my answer if I'm writing it in slope-intercept form. Now, if I wanted to graph this, I'd have to use a bigger graph than what I've been using. I've been using a 10 by 10. So let's just take a regular graphing sheet and let's try to graph this. So I'm going to count down from here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 1, 2. And the reason why I did this is so that I can make my graph big enough. And I'm going to split this paper in two. So I have my y-axis. I have my x-axis. And any time I have a point on the y-axis, x is 0. Anytime I have a point on my x-axis, y is 0. This point right here is called the origin. It's 0, 0. I have a quadrant 1, quadrant 2, quadrant 3, quadrant 4. And if the line falls left to right, it's a negative slope. If the line rises left to right, it's a positive slope. So let's graph this line we have. So let's look at it again. It was y is equal to -3x plus 22. What I'm going to do is I'm going to plot my y-intercept first. So I'm going to count back up. Of course, it's right here, right? I'm going to put my little dot there. That order pair is 0, 22, my y-intercept. And then I'm going to, from this point, plot my slope. And my slope is a -3, right? But, and it's underneath it is a 1. We just don't write it there when it's in simplest form. So this is my y value and this is my x. And since it's a -3, I'm going to go down 1, 2, 3. And then however many places I need to go to the right for my x value. And in this case, x is 1. So I can draw my line now. But you can continuously go on. You can go down 3 more to the right. And if you notice, you keep it up, we're going to come back to that order pair of 5, 7 that we started off with here. So that is graphing, solving for a slope-intercept form and graphing it on the graph.